someone drops $1,200 on a top-tier graphics card, pairs it with a $150 entry-level processor, and boots up expecting flawless 4K resolution at 120 frames per second. But instead, the game stutters. The graphics card is ready to render, but sits idle, waiting for the slower processor to issue instructions. It is like dropping a Ferrari engine into a Honda Civic. The chassis cannot handle the power, and the money is wasted. A computer is an interdependent ecosystem. Every part relies on the others to function, and the absolute maximum speed of your entire system is permanently dictated by its weakest link. That ecosystem starts with the motherboard. It is the physical foundation that houses your parts, and the central hub directing data traffic between them. It operates as a strict gatekeeper. The motherboard unilaterally dictates what processor generation you can install and exactly what type of memory the system will accept. Hardware manufacturers build physical safeguards to enforce these rules. Specific processor sockets and small notches on memory sticks block you from forcing incompatible components together. If you buy a kit of newer, high-speed DDR5 memory without checking your board, and it only accepts the older DDR4 standard, the sticks won't fit. Your money is wasted. The physical dimensions of the board, known as form factors like ATX or the smaller mini ITX, also limit your future. A smaller board directly reduces the number of expansion slots available for future upgrades. The motherboard rarely gets the credit for high frame rates, but it flawlessly dictates the absolute boundaries and total potential of your entire build. The central processing unit handles every standard sequential click, calculation, and system request. Modern processors divide this workload across multiple cores, acting as separate brains working simultaneously. For a machine handling gaming and background multitasking, 6 to 8 cores provides the ideal balance. When it comes to visual performance, the graphics processing unit takes over. It handles the heavy lifting for 3D rendering, video editing software, and complex gaming environments. It achieves this through parallel processing. Instead of handling tasks sequentially, the GPU runs thousands of tiny calculations simultaneously to generate complex imagery in milliseconds. But this massive processing power is useless if the central processor cannot feed it instructions fast enough. Their performance ceilings are permanently linked. To feed those processors, data must be pulled from storage. The traditional hard disk drive uses magnetic spinning platters to hold massive amounts of data cheaply, but physically reading those disks takes time. Modern solid-state drives replace those moving parts with pure silicon. Removing that mechanical delay is the most noticeable speed upgrade you can give any older computer. Yet even the fastest storage drive is too slow for a processor making split-second calculations. The system requires active short-term memory. Random access memory serves as the computer's active disk space for ongoing projects. Once your desk is big enough to hold your current workload, buying a larger desk will not make you work any faster. Installing memory sticks into the wrong motherboard slots disables dual-channel operation. This secretly halves your available memory bandwidth, crippling the system's performance right from the start. True system speed requires a balanced memory hierarchy. Fast NVMe storage retrieves the files, and correctly slotted memory feeds them directly to the processor without delay. High-performance chips generate massive amounts of heat under heavy load, requiring a dedicated cooling system to pull that heat away from the silicon. Without it, processors engage in thermal throttling. They intentionally cripple their own processing speed to avoid physically melting. This entire operation relies on the power supply unit, which is frequently the most ignored component when budgeting for a new build. It must calculate the total maximum wattage demanded by the processor and graphics card, and then deliver a consistent, stable flow of electricity to meet that demand. Buying an unrated budget power supply risks sending unregulated voltage spikes through the motherboard, instantly destroying thousands of dollars in parts. Investing in an 80+ gold-rated power supply and efficient cooling will not directly increase your frame rates. They act as the invisible shield that guarantees the survival and stability of your entire machine. The components need a home, and the computer case is the physical foundation required to make those internal cooling systems actually work. Poorly designed cases, particularly those with solid glass front panels, block fresh air from entering the chassis and trap the exhaust heat inside. A high-quality case utilizes mesh front panels and hidden cable routing paths. This creates unobstructed intake and exhaust channels that push cool air directly over the hottest components. RGB lighting and tempered glass side panels might look nice, but they contribute absolutely zero real-world computing performance. When selecting a case, form must follow function. An aesthetically beautiful but thermally sealed box will actively degrade the performance of every expensive part you put inside it. The motherboard connects, the processor calculates, the graphics card renders, storage retains, memory holds, and the power supply drives it all. Once assembled, these parts transcend being individual pieces of hardware. They operate as a single, heavily reliant technological organism. Planning a build by simply chasing the highest numerical specifications on retail boxes often leads to wasted money and bottlenecked performance. Building a computer is an exercise in engineering balance. Your final machine will only ever be as capable as its weakest link.